What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what really moved it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid did go down slightly, 0.48%. Nothing really crazy, but it did show some signs that it wanted to break out. So it was getting above a key resistance level, especially that I did bring this up yesterday, but you had shorts very resilient and wanting to suppress Lucid. Today there was a lot of volume, so in total 127.01 million shares being traded, 69.8 is the average. And so you did have some big transactions. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000, so quite a lot, especially after hours. You're seeing a lot of buying, so everything that does show as an ask on a side note is a buy, so a lot of buys after hours. But throughout the day, it is what it is. It's kind of just another typical Lucid day. So you have some buying, you have some selling, but ultimately it was shorts. They were kind of the culprit. They did increase net 3.85 million shares during the peak. Right here, just to give you some overview, they were increasing roughly around 10 million shares during this time period. So in case you don't know, by shorts increasing, that does add selling pressure. So they net did increase 3.85. 24.95% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 297.58 million shares overall are being shorted. So as I've stated, Lucid or the PIF must have really pissed someone off, because someone has a vendetta against Lucid, and regrettably us as investors were kind of stuck in limbo, but no official news. So this is where I'm gonna go on a little bit more of a tangent, because this just came out and this does annoy me. There is no official news, as you can see, no SEC filings, unless as soon as I post this then something is going to come out. But let's go over to social media. Nick did retweet this from Lucid, which came out 27 minutes ago. Production of the Gravity is now underway. Why is there no official news about this? Algorithms are going to pick up on official news, not just random social media posts on the Gravity. This is honestly a big flop, in my opinion, of course. So like I said, as soon as I put out this video, probably there'll be some official news, but I think this is like their catalyst. This is the big thing that is supposed to drive Lucid and has been driving Lucid the last year, and this will remain the catalyst up until mid-size. So in my opinion, I think this all was just laid out very poorly, and I think Peter has kind of stated it in the past on podcasts. Just the marketing sucks. It sucks. The product is amazing, but I guess in general you can't really blame them all that much, because they laid off their VP of marketing, what was that, like a month ago? So clearly all of this wasn't going to go down as planned. So Nick, who is the VP or head of communications for Lucid, he's pretty much the sole source of all of this. And actually, I just double checked, I think Nick had more likes on this than Lucid itself, so maybe that's why he felt compelled to kind of retweet this. But generally speaking, I think this is why shorts are pouncing, because it's just very mismanaged. On a positive note, hopefully this will add more insight to eventually demand and just more positive reviews about the Gravity and Lucid. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship based on this, as you can kind of tell based on my tone. But looking at options, very low dollar value. So 519,000 in calls, 294,000 in puts. 61% of all the options being done today, though, were optimistic in nature. Of those call options, you see more of a consensus for it to be above $3. So a lot more optimism, especially when it did hit roughly around the twos, or pretty much where it is now. Like, there was not anything, like nobody was anticipating for it to be above like 250. So over the last week, you had now 250 on the table, and now as of today, 3,000 or $3, not 3,000, but 5,000 was purchased today for December 20th expiry date at that $3 strike price. So like I said, it's I think just people know that something is going to cause Lucid to really push higher. the market's been really looking like scouring for value plays. So any stock that didn't really participate in the recent market rally but still has a lot of good potential, I think Lucid is going to get a lot of big money's attention. And in my opinion, the only thing that was holding them back was confirmation of production. So the fact that this is actually like coming to fruition, maybe that might draw some big money to it. So we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, with that $2.10 trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and this S2, so 209 is going to be the next strong support to watch for that in the next couple of trading days. 213 and then 218. So it bounced off of this pivot point right here. So similarly, just watch for that to be the breaking point, just because they did put out news and I'm not really pleased with how it was put out, but maybe I'll just dabble a little bit with after hours and I'll buy some Lucid. And only because, yeah, like I said, I think Gravity is going to be the next big thing for it to push it higher, hopefully. So we'll just wait and see. But on the technicals, as I've been kind of stating, it's generally not that good. So it is below the ALMA still. All it needs to do is, in theory, get above this $2.48 mark, and then that in general will really cause a lot of algos to start buying it, propelling it higher. But I think just Lucid, hopefully they have a lot more planned for the unveil, and hopefully Peter has some podcasts that he plans on participating on, doing some interviews, really pumping Lucid up. That should add some attention to it, hopefully causing it to go higher. So we'll just have to wait and see. But in general, I think this is kind of a good move in the right direction. It just needs, ultimately at the same time, shorts just to F off. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I have been giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers. More specifically today, SoundHound went up 30% just today alone. So I think my call on that is up like 140% in almost a month. So definitely pop over there, link in the description below and also the comments to take a look at some of my other buy signals. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.